Well, a very good morning to everyone. We are in the truck this morning heading up the road. We've got a couple of stops to make before we get into today's video. But today is going to be kind of reminiscent of a day that I had about a year ago. We'll talk about that later once we get started this morning, but we've got to stop by the tree service office to pick up a skid loader. We're going to be needing the skid loader today for what we've got in store. So we'll stop by, pick that up, and then we'll head over to where the work is going to get done today. I'll talk to you all about that, explain what we're doing, and see how things turn out. So stick around. Well, Chaz and I have arrived. We're getting the skid loader unloaded right now. Going to show you what's going on here. We're definitely going to need the skid loader today to be able to pick up and maneuver this great big log that we're going to show you here in a minute. But we'll get this unhooked, get it up in the yard here, and we'll show you what's going on. We got a lot of rain last night, so it's pretty muddy. We're going to be doing this job on the hard top. Leaving that in the middle. So if you've been along with us on the channel for a while, then you know that we have dabbled, myself and Chaz from the tree service, we've kind of dabbled in the idea of milling some big walnut logs. Well, here we are at my buddy Randy's house. I've known Randy for a long time, probably 25 years. And he recently got this mill. It's an LT35. And he has offered to mill a great big walnut log that Chaz came across recently. So I'm going to walk you down here and show you these walnut logs that we have. I think we measured it and it's about 30 or 32 inches. May have to trim a couple small pieces off this log to get it to fit on the mill, but don't see too many of these large diameter walnut logs around here anymore anyway. So it's got some ivy growing on it, but we're going to clear all that off. But just for reference, I'll stand next to this log, show you how big it is. It's solid all the way through. Even this log here is going to be a nice saw log. So when we were up at Chuck and Deb's at Iron and Oak Sawmill, it was the first and only time I've ever been around a sawmill. And today's going to be a little bittersweet for me because it's going to bring back a lot of memories that I have of Chuck and the knowledge that he showed me that day, and he allowed me to run the mill. We were actually milling a really ugly walnut log that day that Darren Woodruff from Woodruff Woods brought in. And just due to my ignorance and lack of knowledge, I didn't think that was going to be a good log to saw at all, but it turned out it was absolutely gorgeous. So I'm really anxious to see how these turn out. It's a giant log. He's got a Kubota tractor that's not going to pick this up, which is why we had to stop and bring the Kubota SVL 95 with us this morning, because it will pick this up and put it on the mill. So we'll get set up and see what happens. All right, she's on. in order to fit through the mouth of the machine here, that's the only way we could get it on. You see it's a little taller than it is wide, so that's how it's going to sit, and that's how we're going to mill it. Give you a walk around the wood miser. It's pretty windy here today, so there probably won't be a whole lot of narration because I want to keep the wind noise out of the camera. But once we get milling here and we can see what the inside of this log is going to look like, I'll make sure you get to see it. Nice little crotch here, and I know from experience and from my lessons with Chuck that that's going to make some nice feathering, hopefully. So we'll get to see that as well. All right, so here's the situation. We knew we were right up against the capacity of this mill with this log. It's a huge log, and we did cut the butt end of it off because we knew it was too big. But as we're getting into this log, we're running into some problems. You see we had to nip that side off right there to get through the last sapwood slab. And if you look down the line here at the bottom, all the way in the back right there, we're going to run into another problem when we get to that point. So we do know where there's a slightly bigger mill that might be able to take care of this log, because every time we nip off something on the side, we're losing that live edge for that particular slab. So we've got another saw log over here that's not as big as this monster here. We're going to take this off the mill. We're going to bring over the other log and get some slabs out of that for sure. So a learning process as well. Yeah, so let's get this off. We'll get the other one on and show you some slabs. All right, so we just got the second log loaded on there. We've got it situated. We had to take a couple nips down on this end, but that won't be a big deal. Still a pretty good sized log, and a lot of good looking heartwood on this end. So he's nipping off the top here, getting the bark off. We should get some good slabs out of this one. The other log has already left the yard on the way to the bigger sawmill, and he's probably going to get that done today as well. All right, so this is the appropriate time to do a water pop. And this water pop is in memory of Chuck Rogers from Iron and Oak Sawmill. Here we go. This was one of Chuck's most favorite things to do on his channel and in his videos, to see all the beauty of the wood come out. This is in honor of you, buddy. We miss you. Well, that was quite the day. It's late in the afternoon now. We got the slabs back to the barn where we're keeping them and got them all unloaded, stacked, stickered, and strapped. We had to hand carry them into the barn, which was, to say the least, exhausting. My back is shot, my legs feel like jello, but we got all the slabs from that second log that you saw us mill there. We got all those stacked and stickered. So we'll be picking up the great big log in the next day or so to stack in the barn as well. And we'll just see how it goes. We've got a lot to learn. We've got a lot to figure out. We're trying to do it the best way we know how. And I guess in a year or so, we'll figure out if our efforts are worth it when we're able to possibly market these slabs. So we know where there's a lot more black walnut that Chaz and I can cut to have milled, and we're gonna wait and see what happens with that. Little different video here today for you, but I hope you enjoyed it, and that's gonna be it. Please like, subscribe, tell your friends about the channel if you don't mind, and if you enjoy this kind of stuff. We will see you next Wednesday at 7 a.m. Have a great week, everybody.